Hi, everybody. So we're shut down for weather, as you guys know. Rather than lose time, let's just pick up and let's look at chapter 6. We don't have to go through it real fast, but I did want to put out just some videos so we don't, like I said, so we don't completely lose time. I'm going to put together. You're accessing this most likely from the page that I've already put together. So let's talk exam again, as I mentioned. We'll just take it as soon as we get back on campus. I think I don't really want to try to proctor that online. I know some of the other faculty are. I'd rather just do that in person. So let's just see what we can get done with chapter 6 this week. Lab for Wednesday, I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll be accommodating as best I can in terms of time and due dates and things of that nature. Okay, we'll go at the pace that the weather allows us to. Okay, so chapters 6, 7, and 8 are what shows up on test 2. Test 1 is chapters 1 through 5, and so hopefully I asked you guys to be ready for chapters 1 through 5 tests tonight. So keep that in your back pocket. Probably next Monday, but we'll do what the weather allows us to do. So, as I said, let's just start chapter 6. We'll go kind of slow through it and go from there. Okay, so chapter 6 talks about energy and really focuses on how energy is driven through cells, and we talk about enzymes. So that's kind of where we're headed here. What is energy? Well, energy is this quantity that influences temperature, motion, and states of matter. That's kind of a nice generic science definition of energy. Now, how does that apply to biology? Well, this term bioenergetics is something your text uses, and that describes the energy flow through living systems. So all energy is going to derive, almost all energy on our planet is going to derive from our sun, unless we're talking about nuclear energy that derives from other stars, and that's planetary physics. Let's not get into that. Biological energy is almost always going to originate from our sun, and you're going to have producers, organisms that are going to harness that energy and store it, and that's going to be consumed then by other organisms, whether that's fungi through decomposition or whether that's herbivores and carnivores. And so other organisms are going to consume that energy that's been stored by the plants, and then what doesn't get consumed and typically ends up eventually as fossil fuels that as humans, we burn later. Okay. Now, there's this term metabolism. Metabolism basically describes how organisms are using energy. It's all chemical reactions that transpire inside cells, including those that use and release energy. Right. So your metabolism, we talked about the mitochondria being kind of the producers of a molecule we call ATP. That's the energy that cells will move around. So these mitochondria will generate that ATP, and that ATP then can move around, and that's basically, that molecule serves as energy that can be used in other parts of the cell. For example, the endoplasmic reticulum is going to use energy to fold and to create proteins and create more and more complex proteins. We're going to talk about enzymes today. Right? So a lot of energy activity occurring within just any cell, whether it's a eukaryotic cell like what we see here, or a prokaryotic cell like we see in bacteria. That energy is always being moved, used, and utilized. So I love the perfect stopping place. Where do cells get their energy? Here I would say pause the video and write down some ideas, but I just ran out of time on this one, so let's come back to the next video with some sources of energy, or where do cells get their energy?